They were here. And then, they weren't. No body. No goodbye. No explanation. Just an empty space where a person used to be. Police investigated. Families searched for years. Detectives gave their careers to these cases. Nothing. Today we're looking at 5 people who walked out of their lives and were never seen again. These aren't cold cases waiting to be solved. These are voids. Permanent, unexplained, disturbing voids. Stay until case number 1. Because that one will follow you. April 1st, 2006. Columbus, Ohio. Brian Shaffer was a 27-year-old medical student. Smart, well-liked, with a future ahead of him. That night, he went out with friends to celebrate spring break. They hit a few bars. Normal night. At 2 a.m., security cameras caught Brian walking back into a bar called Ugly Tuna Saloona. His friends were already outside waiting. Brian never came out. Here's what makes this case genuinely disturbing. That bar had only one entrance, one exit, the same door. Every single person who entered that bar that night was captured leaving on camera. Every person, except Brian. Investigators reviewed the footage frame by frame. They checked every inch of that building. No back exit, no hidden door, no basement. Brian Shaffer walked into a crowded bar in a city full of cameras, surrounded by people, and ceased to exist. His phone never pinged again. His bank account was never touched. His car sat unmoved in a parking lot for weeks. 18 years later, nobody knows what happened in that bar. Nobody knows where Brian Shaffer is. He just stopped.
Mysteriously missing Maura, Murray, February 9th, 2004. Haverhill, New Hampshire. Maura Murray was a 21-year-old nursing student at the University of Massachusetts. By all accounts, she was normal, quiet, driven. That evening, she crashed her car on a remote stretch of Route 112. A passing school bus driver stopped and asked if she needed help. Maura told him no, said she'd already called AAA. She hadn't? When police arrived less than 10 minutes later, Maura was gone, just footprints leading into the dark tree line beside the road. And then nothing, not even footprints. It was minus 10 degrees that night, dense forest in every direction, no houses for miles. But here's what makes investigators lose sleep over this case. Before the crash, Maura had done something strange. She'd emailed her professor saying she'd be away due to a family emergency. But there was no emergency. Her family had no idea. She'd also withdrawn $280 in cash and packed a bag full of clothes. She was going somewhere. She planned it. Where? Nobody knows. Why? Nobody knows. Maura Murray walked into a frozen New Hampshire forest 20 years ago. She has never been found. Case 3. Frederick Valentich, October 21st, 1978, Melbourne, Australia. Frederick Valentich was a 20-year-old pilot on a routine solo training flight over the Bass Strait. He was in radio contact with air traffic control the entire time. At 7:06 p.m., he reported something unexpected. "Is there any known traffic in my area?" Control said, "No. There seems to be a large aircraft below me." "It's not an aircraft. It has 4 bright lights. It's orbiting above me." "It's not an aircraft." Air traffic control listened as Frederick described a metallic object hovering over his plane, moving at impossible speeds, playing with him, then static, and then, captured on the official audio recording, a long, strange, metallic scraping sound, and then silence. Frederick Valentich and his plane were never found. Not a single piece of wreckage, not a fuel slick, nothing on the water's surface, nothing on the seabed. The official government report on his disappearance lists the cause as unknown. To this day, what Frederick saw in the sky above Bass Strait has never been explained. Case 2. Lars Mittank, July 2014. Varna Airport, Bulgaria. Lars Mittank was a 28-year-old German tourist heading home after a beach holiday. He'd gotten into a minor fight a few days before and had a ruptured eardrum. His doctor said he couldn't fly yet, so his friends flew home without him. Lars stayed one more night alone. That's when everything changed. He called his mother from the hotel, told her he was terrified, that men were following him, that he was in danger. The next morning, Lars went to the airport doctor to get cleared to fly. He sat in the waiting room, and then, for no visible reason, he stood up, grabbed nothing, left his bags, his wallet, his passport, and ran. Airport security cameras captured the whole thing. Lars sprinting through the terminal in pure panic, vaulting a fence, he's running into a field, disappearing into the tree line surrounding the airport. That footage went viral years later. People watched it millions of times trying to understand what he saw. What terrified him so completely that he abandoned everything and ran. Nobody knows. Lars Mittank has never been found. His mother still searches for him today. What was he running from? Case 1. The Beaumont Children Australia Day, January 26, 1966. Jane Arna and Grant Beaumont left their home in Glenelg, South Australia for a day at the beach. Jane was 9. Arna was 7. Grant was 4 years old. Their mother expected them home by noon. They never came home. Witnesses at the beach reported seeing the 3 children playing with a tall, blond man they didn't recognize. The children seemed comfortable with him, happy even, like they knew him. Nobody stopped, nobody intervened. The last confirmed sighting was of Jane buying meat pies from a nearby shop, with money nobody had given her. Someone had given those children money, and then they were gone. What followed was the largest manhunt in Australian history at the time. Police searched for months. Psychics were consulted. The beach was dug up multiple times over the following decades. In 2013, a suburban backyard in Adelaide was excavated after a tip-off. Nothing. Jane would be 67 years old today. Arna would be 65. Grant would be 62. 3 children walked to a beach on a summer morning, and the world swallowed them whole. They have never been found. No suspect was ever charged, and the tall blond man was never identified. This case broke Australia. It changed how an entire nation let their children play outside, and it remains, to this day, completely unsolved. 5 people, 5 vanishings, no bodies, no answers, no closure. Brian Shaffer, who walked into a bar and never walked out. Maura, who drove into the night with a plan nobody was meant to know. Frederick Valentich, who saw something in the sky and was never seen again. Lars Mittank, who ran from something only he could see. And 3 children who trusted a stranger on a sunny morning and paid the highest price. These cases aren't cold. They're frozen. And somewhere out there, the answers exist. If this kept you awake, you're exactly where you belong. The Dark Ledger drops a new case every week. Subscribe so you don't miss what's coming, because next week we're going somewhere even darker. Leave a comment below. Which of these 5 disturbs you the most? I read every single one.